we have a number of large corporations that operate out of China. And I know that there are laws that say they must cooperate with the PLA and Chinese intelligence agencies. Some of these large corporations have been telling us that no, that they don't comply with that. I don't know who can answer this, but do you believe those large corporations, or do you believe that they're just telling us that so that we allow them to remain there? Because I actually believe it's a huge security risk for the United States, for those large corporations and their intellectual property to be in China and actually cooperating with Chinese authorities.
Every one of those corporations that operate in China have CCP employees. Hard stop. That's just the reality of it. They have a duty to report and collect on that company. Secondly, every U.S. corporation or Western corporation that's vested or invested in China does not have control of its cyber capabilities within the mainland. Those belong to the Chinese Communist Party. Thirdly, every one of those now is affected by new laws that have been passed since 2015, the Cybersecurity Law, in which the data then that they intend to extract is prohibited from being taken out. Their profits are now being affected in terms of what they can remove. And the most nefarious is the National Intelligence Law that was passed in 2018, and that's Article 7, in which that every Chinese citizen, when called upon, and that's an important point to underscore, when called upon, must cooperate with the Chinese Communist Party through the mechanisms of the Ministry of State Security, both at the provincial level and all the way up to their version of the federal level.
If I might, if I could have the opportunity, since I served as legal director for an American company, Illinois Toolworks, in China, I will say that there are manners in which our company was able to manage our intellectual property, manage our trade secrets in a manner that would protect our company and protect our innovation in remaining in the country. I agree with Mr. Shedd that there are challenges to all of that, and there is an evolving network. But I think this is where I would agree with him that education of our companies is so vital to this, because there are manners in which we can do this, but it requires cooperation, it requires education, it requires a level of expertise that sometimes we're just being a little bit too simplistic about.
Representative Takuda.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You know, as the great-granddaughter of a Japanese American who was imprisoned during World War II, I'm acutely aware that some of our worst violations of civil liberties in our nation's history have been carried out under the banner of national security.